Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I'm your host, John. You got another duo podcast this week. This is the third in a row, it seems like, because we're doing some weird scheduling stuff. It's my fault. No, it's not my fault this time. Fucking Corky came down to Florida, so I gotta go see him this weekend. That's why we're recording a little bit early. Michael, you're here.
I am here. Hello.
Michael, what are we gonna do when we go to see Corky? Because both of us are probably gonna see him.
A contestant named Nicole will go inside of a video game, and she has to jump over virtual rats in an attempt to win a set of encyclopedia, and the host, Phil Moore, will make no attempt to convince her that it's not worth the trouble.
Alright, so you're gonna recreate episodes of, that show. I don't remember off the top of my head what it's called.
Nickelodeon show, yeah.
Yes.
Where contestants Tavis, Michelle, Megan, and Chris mumble their way through some radical small talk with Phil Moore before facing off in the video zone. Chris chokes on Alpha Mission 2, and Megan still hasn't forgiven him.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's from April 1997. Nick Arcade, that's what it was called.
That's right, yeah. So you're gonna recreate a series of Nick Arcade episodes in order to defeat Mike Casamano.
No, I'm going to seal myself inside of a cave. You can figure out ways to defeat him.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah,
I am the most well equipped to defeat Mike Casamano. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, Michael, thank you for joining us on this wonderful episode of the show.
It is no problem, because which game wizard will these kids face in the video zone today? Murloc? Scorchia? Mongo, or perhaps the underappreciated Wizard of Soul responsible for this program's synthesizer soundtrack?
Damn, that sounds pretty hardcore, actually.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to watch some Nick Arcade, it sounds like.
Oh man, this description's really good. This does not necessarily speak for the content of this episode, but host Phil Moore wears a tremendous sweater in this episode. The pattern is mesmerizing, and the cut is ahead of its time.
That's the description of the episode?
That's the description of the episode, $1.99 in standard definition.
We're gonna have to watch some Nick Arcade.
It's really good.
Michael, what have you been up to other than reading Nick Arcade episode descriptions?
Gosh, what have I been doing? I bought new shorts. That was an adventure.
That's good.
Yeah.
What style?
What style? What do you mean, like what's...
Yeah, like what kind of shorts?
Like pants, but they don't go all the way down to my feet. They stop, like, at some point.
Yes.
They're like I might wear them this weekend, so you might actually get to see me model them.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Or I might forget them. They're blue and with blue stripes. So they're two-toned blue, and they're a darker pair of shorts. Yeah. Not cargo.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. All right, well that sounds lovely. I hope that they fit nice and they weren't too expensive.
It was a sale, but everything just said factory priced, which was very boggling because what is a factory price?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Is it just like the price before it's marked up, like the price of because there's no way it was how much it cost to make because it was still $15. That didn't cost $15 to make it. So, what did that mean? I don't know.
I don't know. That's very strange.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you got a pretty good deal on some shorts. Other than shorts, what else have you been up to?
I bought a lot of Pokemon cards. I should probably stop buying Pokemon cards. I found like a new comic shop nearby, and they have a lot of comics, and then they also sell you know how like most card shops you go in and they just have the the jewelry display case, so you have to sit there bending over like trying to look at these cards, and if they don't actually write the prices on them big enough. You're just squinting to see how much cards are.
Yeah.
This place had like the more Japanese one where it is a wall and you go in and you can get pretty close to it and see it. So I ended up buying like a $4 full art card and a couple of packs.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Did you get anything good from the packs?
I think I got one of whatever the newest. There's like some new Pokemon, like not type. Like the card is called something different, and it's not. They're not actually rarer, but I got one of those. It's like ultra. The set's Ultra Prism, so it's like prison mode.
Okay.
I don't know what it means.
I wouldn't know. I haven't bought any of the newest ones. I haven't bought Pokemon cards. Like, I bought Pokemon cards semi-recently. I bought, like, one pack, like, a few weeks ago, and there wasn't anything too weird in there. And then last time we hung out, we each bought a deck so we could play against each other that night. And that was fun, but they were, like, older decks. Like, I think mine was, like, an Evolution one, like, from that, and that's, like, 2 or 3 years old by now.
Yeah, mine was just plain Sun and Moon. I was maybe, like, 2 to 3 sets behind. They had come out with 2 to 3 sets. I didn't even notice. I also kind of didn't care. I was like, oh, I guess I should buy one of those boxes at one point and get like 6 boosters and then move on.
Yeah. It's fun sometimes, but yeah, like I was pretty wrapped up in it for a while where I was like keeping track of when the packs are coming out and all that, but then like I was like, I don't really have the time or the money to do this right now. And, like, I have, like, since I have a job now, I'm, like, more able to buy the stuff, but it's also, like, I don't have anywhere to put it.
Yep.
So maybe after I move and I can, like, set myself up a little bit more, I could be like, all right, I'll buy another binder and I can get to fucking work buying some more cards and making them all pretty and all that. Because that was the thing, is I just don't have anywhere to put them right now.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I don't remember. That's great.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So Pokemon cards. Other than your Pokemon cards, have you maybe purchased any games or played any games or done anything with regards to video games?
What are those? I didn't purchase this game. I played this game, Radical Heights.
Because that's free to play.
That is. Yeah, it is. Boy. So if you weren't following along, you may have heard of Lawbreakers, which is a game you and I played a couple years ago at E3. It's from Boss Key, that's Cliff Bleszinski's new company, right?
Correct.
Clifford Young Cliff. And Lawbreakers was, I don't want to say a failure, but it did not attain what they were hoping for. And so late last week they decided like, hey, we're not gonna support this anymore. The servers will stay on, but we're gonna move on. And it sounded like they're gonna move on to something new. And in a couple months, maybe end of the year or even next year, you hear about their new game. Then this week started, and they announced their new game, and it launched on Tuesday. Radical Heights is, stop me if you've heard this before. It's a battle royale game set in the 80s with a goofy sensibility. Yeah. It's kind of an in-between PUBG Fortnite kind of game.
Yeah, like I was hearing I was listening to the Bombcast recently and they were talking about Radical Heights and they were talking about how the art style and like the mood of the game was more Fortnite, but the gameplay was more PUBG.
Sort of. God, it's a weird game. First of all, they call it Extreme Early Access, and that's kind of their branding of it, but it is extremely early. There are textures missing. It jumps around every now and again. The gameplay, for the most part, is solid, but a lot of the elements of the game are missing, to the point to where when you choose your character to create them, which is all of like 3 different choices, you can choose male or female. That's it. And female just says coming soon.
Yeah.
So.
Oofa doofa.
Yeah. I like some of the things they do. They streamline some of it where you're not in a plane, you just drop. There's no circle that slowly shrinks. It's a grid. The map has a grid over it, and the portions of the map that will damage you or whatever are highlighted in yellow, and then once that timer goes down, they are red. I don't know if you instantly die or if you just start taking damage, but there is no shrinking. It is just, it starts at the edge of the map, then they all go red, and then it has like maybe 8 grids, and random squares in that grid will start going 2 at a time, and then at the very end, you all have to go to a circle and shoot it out. It forces you to go to this circle to win. So it seems like a smart way of speeding things up, of changing kind of the strategy of how you do it. You can't like ride the blue line. You can't ride the edge of the circle as much. You kind of can. It's a little more fast and loose. It's a little goofier. Like they encourage you to ride bicycles. When you're in like the waiting area, there are bicycles and there are verts, and you can kind of go up them. You can't really do any tricks. You can bunny hop. People described it like Fortnite. It gives me a lot of Monday Night Combat, like flashbacks. There's an announcer, that very like over the top, and 5 minutes remaining before you all die. That kind of
because it's set up like a TV show, like it's a Smash TV kind of deal.
There are prize boxes. You go up and you just you have to hold E for a minute and then they'll open. You're trying to like earn cash, and the cash carries over or carries it like the cash. So you can turn in your weapons at any time that you pick up for money. You can find cash. You can kill people for cash. I think you can spend cash for health and guns at vending machines, but I think any cash that you end with, you keep, and then you can use that as in-game currency to buy skins and whatever. However, you can't buy, from what I understand, when the tooltip I read, you can buy the cosmetics at any time with a premium currency. And they are selling a starter pack. I don't know if they're selling the premium currency other ways. But to buy the whatever skin model without the premium currency, you have to, I think you have to find it. Someone else has to have it. And then you get the blueprint, and then you can buy it with your in-game currency for free. I think that's how it works. And, it's probably subject to change depending on how this game evolves, because for sure this game will change between now and its eventual release date in 2023. But it's weird. It is so early. I don't understand. I mean, I get why they put it out. They wanted a game out on the market and make money to support itself and to support the team. I can't blame them for doing that. But also, this is too early. It's 5 months old. It's way too early.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, I also had fun with it. So, but I can't recommend it because, just go play Fortnite. It's the same thing. It's a little goofier. It has the building, which adds like a different layer of strategy. Just go play Fortnite. I guess just flip a coin because they're both free. And maybe this one you won't try to get, you won't be hacked every 10 minutes. Like you are in Epic. I have not been hacked, so I've never gotten an email that says, you've been hacked. So,
yeah.
My credit card's not tied to it, so there's nothing they can do but play Fortnite for me. They want to buy me the regular Fortnite, they can.
Sure.
Have at it.
Alright, fair enough. So, I have been playing a game.
Did it go to new Radical Heights?
No, in fact, some may argue that it may have gone to lower depths.
What, man, what's the opposite of radical?
Lame, I guess?
New lame depths?
I guess so.
New Lame Depths is the name of my emo album coming out this spring. Look for it.
So I feel like I sound a little too negative about it, but I've been playing Ni no Kuni 2. I think I talked about it a little bit last week. But I played some more of it, And Rose has a review up on the site, and I pretty much feel like I agree with everything that she said in that review.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of the... I really liked what I played of that game up until a certain point. And then it became readily apparent that that game is like 90% grind. It is, go to this area, find this person, like, find someone who wants to... Okay, so you play as a king of a nation.
I think you described it a bit last week.
Yeah, so just to be sure, you play as this king of this nation, and you want to bring more people in to your country. So you go up to somebody with like a blue face over their head, and that means that they're able to join you. You talk to them, and they say, "Okay, complete this quest for me."
Mm-hmm.
And it's the exact same kind of quest that you would expect from any RPG, and there's so many of them. And you complete this little quest that's like, go get 3 of these, or go kill 5 of these. Mm-hmm. They join your kingdom. Then you can assign them to different little areas. Like, for example, if someone is proficient in spellcasting, then they can help design more spells for you. If they're proficient in weapons crafting, then they can make weapons. They can help make, like, the weapon store bigger. And all that is fine, but you're going to get spells that you need to get from the story and leveling up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then you oftentimes will get really powerful weapons just as random drops from enemies that are more powerful than anything that you would buy. So it's not really worth it, even though the game is completely based around it.
Is this all side content, or is this a part of the main game?
It's a little bit part of the main game. Like, you can kind of ignore it, but you don't want to or you can't completely, because you do have to do some of it for the story, and you have to level up your base enough to keep up with the story and all that.
Right.
So it behooves you to keep it up, but you don't really get anything out of it that you wouldn't get just from doing the combat and leveling up. And then there's also some other bits where you're just getting those side missions just to unlock more side missions. Like, it's all very baseless, and you're just doing it to do it at times, and it's super frustrating. The other thing, too, is that you have to have the game on to progress. Like, you'll assign people to like, create new items or to study things, and there's a progress meter, and the meter only goes up when the game is on. So you have to, like, be playing the game or let it idle to progress in that way.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it feels like one of the first things they agreed upon on the design document was, we need this game to be 150 hours long, or something like that. I feel like that instead of saying, we need to make this content, who cares how long it is, they said, we need to make this game a certain length. And they just padded it and padded it and padded it.
Ugh.
It's a huge bummer. It's really charming when it wants to be. I think that if they just made if they actually made the kingdom building more worth it, like if they actually made if they made it so you would get better items from the kingdom building instead of from random drops, and they made it so the meters went up when the game wasn't on, they just fixed a couple of things, it would have been a way better game. But they just did not do that, and it's a huge bummer. It's so close to being good, but what makes it bad is so frustrating, it just kind of swerves into being... Like, I don't want to say it's fully bad, because I'm having fun with the combat, I'm having fun with the main storyline, even though that can be a little repetitive too.
It's mixed. Like, there are good parts, and then the bad parts just drag those down.
Absolutely, yeah. It's I think Rose, just go read Rose's review. I think that summarizes it, like, perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't know if I could like, if you like grindy games, I think this is an absolutely awesome one of those. Like, I know people that are explicitly like, I just like to have something, like, this is a podcast game,
Yeah.
you know, like that. This is absolutely a podcast game. This is absolutely I'm sitting in my Discord server and talking to people game. Like, but if you're looking for something that's a lot more involved and rewarding, absolutely not.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So, I played that on my PS4, but what if I played it on something more advanced?
Oh,
Michael, do you have any?
like a Game Boy Advance?
Well, maybe, but no, I mean something that's even more powerful than a PS4. I've been hearing some rumors that there is something in the works from Sony, but Michael, would you like to discuss those rumors, perhaps?
Sure, those rumors are 100% accurate and not in any way made up.
Are you pulling my leg here?
I have detached your leg from your body and have tossed it into the river. Yeah. If you spend any time kind of on certain video game forums, especially like Reset Era, or listening to certain, to be honest, the people I've heard this from the most are not like directly involved with the industry anymore. So maybe that's part of the reason why.
Absolutely.
You may have heard things like that there are PS5 dev kits out in the wild. You may have heard that the PS5 is coming this year or next. You may have heard, I saw someone offering or steering people towards a Patreon with a $1,000 buy-in to get early hardware specs for the PS5. Which, unless that thing was coming out literally this year, those hardware specs would be inaccurate. There's just no way, like, it's just not how that works. Jason Schreier over at Kotaku decided to take these rumors on and asked, it sounds like every person he knew in the world, if they knew anything about a PS5, and the resounding answer was no. Either no one had heard about it, or they had only heard rumors about it, that they actually hadn't heard anything from Sony. He goes really in depth, and if you want to find his article, I'm sure it's still up on Kotaku, or you can come to us, and I link to it. And it's easy to find. But he kind of takes on every rumor, specifically the dev kit one, where even first-party developers he talked to who work at Sony do not have PS5 development kits, and they would be the first people to get them. He also does the smart thing where he clarifies and asks people to describe what a dev kit is, because there's this weird disconnection between what people think a dev kit is and what it actually is. Because it seems like some people think a dev kit is a straight up like a PS5. Like there's a black box that's maybe a little bit bigger than the final product and it's a PS5. No, a dev kit is oftentimes just a PC with the projected hardware. Sometimes console manufacturers will just tell developers, listen, we're aiming for this spec, this kind of graphics card, this kind of RAM. Start basing your development off of that. And then we'll let you know as soon as we know. That's still possible. Nobody like straight up says, hey, Sony's not talking about a PS5, because it's clear that the PS5 is in some form of development, which is not shocking. Like, probably within a year or two, they started making a PS5. There's a difference between a factory pumping them out and 3 dudes in a conference room yelling at each other about hardware specs and VR. But yeah, there is no PS5 coming this year. That would be ludicrous. There's no PS5, sounds like, coming next year either. And the earliest date that Jason was able to get consistently out of people was 2020. And that would be a, like, new step kind of console. Not a PS4 Pro kind of console, a actual PS5, whatever connotation that takes on. So, yeah, don't believe things you read on the internet, and don't just assume they're true. Even if it seems like they are. Even if the pieces start to fit together. Hey, how many years was it from PS2 to PS3? Oh, it was like 8 years. Okay. And we all know the last console cycle was artificially long, so it's been about 6 years. All right, we're going to ramp up. No, absolutely not. Also, remember, I don't know if you remember, but like, wasn't the PS4 announced the same year it was launched?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I remember the PS4 and the Xbox One announced themselves early that year, then went to E3, showed everything off, and that was the infamous thing where Xbox went first, and then PS4 had that video of, hey, can I borrow your game? And then that was it with Shuhei and Adam.
Yeah, sure.
And then they all came out in November. So it's 2018. It's April. They would have announced by now.
Yeah.
There would be hints. There would be they want to get you excited. They want to sell you something. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, they want you to know about it. And not just you and I. Like, you and I will know about it. You, me, our friends who just now are buying a PS4 or Switch or something, who are just now getting into this cycle. Mm-hmm. Like, you'd have to be able to inform them, convince them. Like, that's a lot to do when it just still feels like this particular generation is just now getting underway.
Yeah, if they wanted people to start to get ready for a new console, they would have talked about it already. Like, they absolutely need to get that word out, push that narrative, especially when, the PS4 Pro is pretty new, too, in the grand scheme of things. It would be super bizarre if they were like, alright, here's this thing, and also, by the way, within a year, here's the absolute brand new thing, just throw away your PS4. Just throw away that Pro that you just bought.
Yeah. I think it would be a mistake to introduce a PS5 that didn't play PS4 games.
It would, yes.
But the idea to say, like, after having the marketing where you're saying, here's a PS4 Pro, everything that comes out for the Pro will also be playable on your PS4, and having to hammer that home, and how hard that was for a lot of people to kind of believe, and same with the Xbox One X, to then release a console or announce a console and say, yeah, forget that PS4 stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like, what's really baffling is I've seen so much bullshit of just, The Last of Us 2 is a PS5 game. That's why we haven't seen it yet. Just absolute garbage of people who just don't. It's just, how do you not? At some point, you have to understand. Hey, games take more than 2 years sometimes. Like, it's just how it is. Especially something from Naughty Dog, who are notorious for getting things right. Like, it's just, some people, I think I said it in my piece, reporting on this, where I said, just because a company is silent, you don't fill in the blanks. Like, we all love to speculate, we all love to comb through the fine details, the LinkedIn posts, but sometimes a company being silent means they're working. Just let them make the game. Don't imply what you think you know. Sometimes it's good to listen and wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's that.
You think the PS5 will run on a cell processor?
I think the PS5 will run on whatever it wants to run on, and we don't have the we can't tell them what to do or what not to do. It's not up to me.
I wanted to talk to my washing machine.
I wanted to talk to my wife.
Well, if you wouldn't get 7 divorces, then you wouldn't be in this situation, John. You don't need a PS5. Or is that how you're avoiding the 8th divorce?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My PS5 will heal my marriage.
Last of Us 2 saved my marriage.
I bet there's someone out there who's like, I played The Last of Us with my wife and it made us stronger or some shit. I don't know. I bet there's some fucking article about that.
I like how you're making fun of it like that's a bad thing.
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but,
Your marriage is strong because of Last of Us.
I don't fucking know.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think Halo? You think Halo 3 saved someone's marriage?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think Shenmue saved someone's marriage?
Yes.
Do you think No One Can Stop Mr. Domino ruined someone's marriage?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely a huge fight. Like, what do you mean? You think someone can stop Mr. Domino? Get out of my house!
All right, what game do you think has ruined the most marriages?
Mario Party. That's a very easy answer, but it's true.
Yeah, I think that's ruined the most friendships. That are Smash Brothers.
See, Smash Bros. At the very least has ruined some friendships based on people arguing over which one is better. But I think actually playing Mario Party ruins marriages and friendships and all that.
Do you want to play Mario Party this weekend?
Absolutely not.
All right, I'll pick up a copy and we'll play it. Is there one for the Switch yet?
No.
Oh, I would have bet money that there was.
Not yet. The last one that they put out was that like top 100 minigame collection for the 3DS.
All right, I'll grab that. You grab your 3DS, and we'll get going.
Oh boy,
we got to play all top 100 minigames.
All 100 minigames.
What do you think the number one minigame is?
Probably the one where you shake the Wiimote and it looks like you're jacking off.
That's my number one.
Mm-hmm. It should be all of ours.
Yeah. Is that the soda one? And then you spray the soda on yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very sexual.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a healthy soda.
Yeah. Speaking of games that are coming out, there was some talk about this back when Mega Man 11 got announced, but we have official confirmation of the Mega Man X Legacy collections. They separated them into 2 releases because, of course, they did. It will be the first collection is the first 4 X games, so X, X2, X3, and X4, and then Legacy Collection 2 is X5, X6, X7, and X8.
Why is X3 not called Triple X?
Because they made a movie. Vin Diesel.
BMX Triple X?
Vin Diesel movie. I'm not talking about the weird, horny BMX game. I'm talking about Vin Diesel this time.
Did you see that movie? Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry. So, they're putting it out on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. It's coming out July 24th. And each game will be $20 each, or you could buy a $40 bundle that'll have both. It'll have 2 discs on Xbox One and PS4, and for the Switch, they are pulling that whole thing where the first collection will be on the cartridge, and then you have to download the second one. Yeah.
Do you think there'll ever be a Switch game with more than one cartridge?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm still not really sure why they're doing. I mean, I don't know about this one specifically, but for that Mega Man, the original, like the Mega Man Legacy Collection that they put out, or I guess they're going to put out. It's not out yet on Switch. They have a like 1 and 2 bundle where the first Legacy Collection is on the cartridge, and then the rest of it is downloadable.
Right.
The stuff on the cartridge is like 700 megabytes, and then the stuff that you have to download is like 2 gigs.
Jesus. Like, I know those cartridges have a certain amount of space, but
all of that can fit on a small Switch cartridge.
Yeah.
Like, they have like smaller and larger cartridges. Like, the larger ones are for like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. But all of that can fit on a small, like, cheap cartridge. There must be some production costs extra. Like, the longer it's in there writing data, the more money you pay, something like that. I have no idea. Like, there's some of those that I understand, like when they did that Resident Evil collection, the Revelations collection, because each of those games are very large, and like Bayonetta as well. I think, like, yeah, Bayonetta 2 is on the cart, and then Bayonetta 1 you have to download. I can understand for those because they are larger games, but these legacy collections are not that big. They're older games, and I just don't understand why they can't fit them all on one cart.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess you will be able to. Yeah, you'll be able to buy them separately on like the eShop and PSN and Xbox Live and all that. But if you want to buy it physically, there's just the $40 edition. I guess in like Europe and Japan, you can buy them separately. So some people are like planning to do that because I guess a lot of people don't like anything past X4, so they're just like, I just want to get the physical version of X1, and I don't want to pay the extra money for the other 4 shitty ones. So, I guess you can make that call. It says here that these releases will have optional smoothing, which looks like dog shit. Which looks like absolute dog shit, so don't do that. CRT
optional
filters.
Smoothing.
Yeah, it smooths out the pixels, so it makes it look like someone, like, mushed it up. CRT filters, widescreen modes, and original resolutions for the games. Also, the 3D models for X7 and X8, which were the PS1 games. Those games will have better models. They are also including, the Day of Sigma video, which was an anime short about Sigma's rise to power.
Mm.
And they are also including the full soundtracks for, I guess, the first 4 games, and some remixes and some new tracks. And a new game mode where you fight against Chill Penguin and Frost Walrus at the same time. So maybe some kind of, like, boss rush thing where you fight multiple bosses at the same time.
But Chill Penguin just wants to chill.
Chill Penguin has some really good music.
He's just chilling, man. Chill Penguin. I just like saying that.
Chill Penguin.
Chill Penguin.
Mega Man X. I have only played Mega Man X so far, but Mega Man X is fucking incredible. So I'm gonna buy this so I can play the series. Like, I'm a pretty big Mega Man fan. I gotta buy that the original Legacy Collection as well for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like I'm totally down with all this like Legacy stuff that they're doing on the Switch. Like, there was the SNK stuff that got announced last week, and they're doing the Mega Man stuff. Like, I think I do prefer this over Virtual Console. I've come to accept that this is a better way to present these older games that can't just be, like, backwards compatible. I like the extras. I like the effort that's put into there, even though there are some stuff that I wouldn't really care for, like the pixel smoothing and all that. We don't need that, but I am thankful for any kind of extras and any kind of like, oh hey, here's some like pictures of advertising flyers and here's like concept art. I love that. So I am absolutely ready to get more of those collections. I hope that Capcom continues to do it. I hope that Digital Eclipse keeps getting work because their stuff is the best. Like, I don't think they're involved with the X collection, but like they're doing the Street Fighter collection, they're doing the SNK one, and they did Disney Afternoon and the original Mega Man Legacy collection. So I hope they keep doing more stuff for these classic titles because I fucking love it, and I just want to keep playing all these old games in a nice, like, well presented format. So speaking of older games, I guess I'll just go ahead.
I love older games.
There are quite a few people that love older games,
yeah.
And there's one guy that seemed to love older games, but maybe in a way that's a little sinister.
Oh, Steve Wiebe.
The other guy.
Oh, Walter Day.
No, this time we're talking about Billy Mitchell.
Oh.
So, yes, if you have ever seen the movie The King of Kong, or are in any way interested in video game high scores and speedrunning and etc., like competitive gaming of the older era, you will know who Billy Mitchell is. World famous for having the world record in a lot of classic arcade games, such as Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm. And Pac-Man, and
yeah,
like Donkey Kong Jr.?
Yeah, a lot of classic games. So, Mr. Mitchell was recently outed as a cheater. His scores were, I don't know if fabricated is the correct term, but he used the arcade emulator MAME to set his high scores in Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. During the King of Kong era.
Yeah, and a little bit after it as well. So the evidence comes down to he was using MAME, and you're not supposed to do that. So whether or not he was using MAME to cheat or whether he was just using MAME, I don't know the ins and outs of it. But just using MAME is not allowed.
It is extremely easy to, run some back end cheat stuff when you're using MAME.
Or even you're able to pause and rewind, I believe, in some instances.
Exactly, and that can be then recorded, and you can edit out the rewinds, and just send in a great score that you wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. You can see even in the original documentary, there was a point where Steve Wiebe set the record live in front of people playing the arcade cabinet, and then a little while later Billy Mitchell sent in a video, a VHS recording of him playing the game.
Which is allowed. You can do that.
Which is allowed, but if I remember correctly, there are some jump cuts. There's a weird little bit of video. It looked a little iffy.
It looks like, if for those of you old enough, you'll remember tracking.
Yeah.
And so it looks like some tracking happens right around the left side, which is where the high score is, and as that happens, it jumps up. And there's even a scene with Walter Day on the phone with Billy Mitchell asking him, there's some weird points. What about the high score jumping? What about this? And Billy Mitchell has always had, if you've watched King of Kong, you know the frustration of, the weird power Billy Mitchell had over Twin Galaxies. I don't know if he has, nudes of Walter Day. I have no clue what's up there.
For those who don't know, Twin Galaxies for the longest time, not so much anymore because a lot of people are more into speedrunning, and that's more for Speed Demos Archive and speedrun.com that focuses on that. But back in the day when it was more about high scores, Twin Galaxies were the people that regulated it and checked the scores to make sure that they were legit. And it does seem like Billy Mitchell and, to go back to some drama of the past few months, Todd Rogers, he was also taken down pretty similarly because people pointed out his impossible scores. And what Billy Mitchell did wasn't impossible, but he used his own terms instead of going by what Twin Galaxies said everyone else had to do. So people found out that he used MAME because if you watch the footage of the world record that he sent in, when you're running the game on the original arcade cabinet, the stage loads in a specific way, but when you're running it on MAME, it loads in a slightly different way. So you can absolutely tell just from how the game starts.
Yeah,
where it's running.
It loads in objects a specific way, like the girders and the
barrels and all that.
Barrels in Donkey Kong all load in specific kind of steps. Step 1, we do these girders, then this one, and this one. MAME does it a completely different way, and when you look at Billy Mitchell's run, it is 99% exactly like the way MAME does it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Absolutely. So, Twin Galaxies has removed all of his high scores from the site, and they've also banned him from further competition. And just recently, the Guinness Book of World Records also revoked all of his high scores and world records from their accounts. So yeah, Billy Mitchell has been scrubbed from the history books. Steve Wiebe is now the official first person to break the 1,000,000 points on Donkey Kong.
Yep.
So that whole saga seems to be complete. Billy Mitchell's going to go back to selling his hot sauce, and Twin Galaxies is going to continue to be this questionable, like, competitive aspect, because in the past few months they have had to deal with two of their, like, big poster guys coming under fire and being rightfully cast from the history books.
Well, like, one of them, Todd Rogers, was a judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, there's, like, an infamous video of Billy Mitchell supposedly setting $2 million point scores on Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., and, like, the regulations say you have to film the screen and you have to film the board so that it can be properly compared to, so it's not tampered with, and properly compared to a real standard Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. board. And that video is Todd Rogers switching the board out, quote unquote, for Billy Mitchell. It's like, he literally has his fingerprints all over it. And I actually saw a video today of one of Billy Mitchell's friends, underlings, filming in his car, saying that Billy will do an interview about this stuff, along with Walter Day at some gaming thing somewhere. So, I don't know. If I was Walter Day, I would either resign because he just kind of ignored all this shit for years, or I would not be seen anywhere near Billy Mitchell. Because you're the legacy of Twin Galaxies is in shambles. And it's never been good. But I wouldn't trust Twin Galaxies for shit. Because why would you?
Absolutely. It's a real mess. And, oh boy, I just, just watching, like, I remember watching that documentary ages ago and just thinking, like, oh, all this drama, but Twin Galaxies seems at least a little bit on the up and up. They are trying to keep things regulated, but now seeing all this information dug up and seeing all these people getting called out, rightfully so, for their actions. Yeah, it's definitely a bummer, and I do hope that there may be some new regulations rise out of these ashes. Maybe like Speed Demo's archive will start trying to regulate high score competitions. Who knows? But for now, I would definitely say that Twin Galaxies does not seem to be on the up and up.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Let's try Billy Mitchell's hot sauce.
We should try Billy Mitchell's hot sauce.
We should go to his restaurant.
To be fair, a lot of people have been, like, pointing out, like, hey, like, what Billy Mitchell did was wrong, but also he is this, like, famous heel, and in a way, I agree. Like, I wish that Twin Galaxies was better at their regulations and all that, but, like, at the same time, Billy Mitchell being just this complete scuzz is also kind of fun, and he's definitely just, like, this fun to hate icon.
Schadenfreude.
And absolutely, yeah, like, him getting his comeuppance is definitely like, yes, but we'll see where Billy Mitchell goes as time goes on, because he is still very, very good at video games. He's just not.
I don't want to hear about him ever again. Fuck him. Get rid of him.
Sure.
Toss him out.
Sure.
He's a scumbag. Scumbag's a scumbag is a scumbag. I'm sorry. No. All of this over a Donkey Kong score. Like, why?
Because he wanted to be the best in the world. That's what happens.
I guess.
Michael, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I spy with my little eye something yellow.
Is it some cheese?
No, I don't have cheese just sitting on my desk.
I don't know what you have on your fucking desk. I thought maybe you were eating some cheese.
No, why? Just like straight up just eating cheese?
It's like cheese and crackers or something. You know?
Oh, I'm not fancy. What am I reviewing Fallout 4?
Oh, wow.
That's a really strange callback.
Yeah, woof.
Well, I spy my can of Kickstart Hydrating Boost pineapple, orange, mango.
Uh-huh.
Only 60 calories per can.
Ooh.
But I guess I won't be spying Steam anymore. Did you like that? Did you like that transition? It's good.
Slightly.
Yeah. Steam Spy will no longer be up and running. They're going to shut down, and that is because Valve recently announced some changes, some privacy changes to Steam. Not too shocking, considering that maybe another major social network had to be dragged in front of, let's say, Congress to answer some questions about
the social network, even.
Yeah, I love
like from
that
the movie.
Yeah, that movie, the hit movie. Trent
yeah.
Reznor did the soundtrack. Yeah, so they updated their privacy stuff, and a part of that, even though they didn't state it, is that all your games in your library will be hidden by default on Steam. So that's how Steam Spy was able to scrape the API, see what everyone owned, and report back, hey, this game has X amount of players, this game has sold X amount at this sale price, and kind of mostly get some information out of Steam, because Valve is very tight-lipped about Steam. And Steam has shut off that valve, if you will, has completely shut off that piece of information. And so Steam Spy just cannot continue to run. And so it will shut down. I've never been a big Steam Spy guy. I didn't trust that information. Because again, it was based on information that Steam was willing to put out there. But it was a good barometer. It was a good kind of, which direction a game is heading and how good a game is doing. And I don't like seeing less information out there. I'd rather see more accurate information out there. So this is a bit of a bummer, but I'm sure some developers are glad Steam Spy is gone, because sometimes you don't want those numbers out there. Like that's, if you're trying to get investors, you're trying to make a deal, Steam Spy may release those numbers and it actually may not accurately reflect how well you're doing. There are ways to present numbers that can not be fully, they don't always tell the story, right? So it's probably a good thing that Steam Spy maybe goes away. It's a terrible thing that we're losing this kind of access to information. So, yeah.
All right. Let's move on to questions.
You can send questions in to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, or you can go over to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ASK. That spells ask. You'll sound like these people sound like you. Apparently everyone asks questions in my voice. It's really strange.
That is pretty strange.
Yeah, it is. Like Rhyme Wilder here asks, I've always wanted to learn to speedrun, but never really had the patience. If you're going to go all in trying to be the best in the world at a game, what would you go for?
Spyro.
Really?
Yeah.
I think like Pokemon with no glitches would be fun.
You think so? I mean, I feel like Pokemon is already there's a couple of dudes that have that just completely taken. Like they found that shit out. They have it down to a science. You think you got what it takes, Michael? You think you got what it takes to catch them all?
No. I don't know if I'd want to be the best. I just want to know I can do this in an hour, or I could do this in whatever the fastest is plus an hour. So
sure,
20 days.
Honestly, speedrunning it could just be for personal best, just have a good time.
Yeah.
Doing your best.
I want to be the very best. Like no one ever was.
I can beat Spyro in one sitting pretty easily, 100%.
How long would it take you?
I think maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Do you know what the record is?
The record for 100% Spyro, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's definitely less than that.
Yeah, no glitch, 100% Spyro.
There aren't really too many glitches in the original Spyro. It's Ripto's Rage that is super glitchy. You can finish Ripto's Rage in 6 minutes.
Mighty Boss Tones writes in and says, why the fuck hasn't Namco made a new Katamari game?
Because they got really, really stale, and the original creator only worked on the first one because he only wanted to make the first one.
I googled this after I saw this question last night. They're all on mobile. That's why.
Yeah, I think they might still be making some for mobile, but
they
yeah,
are. One came out last year.
Well, there you go.
Tap My Katamari or something like that. So
sure.
That seems like, those medium tier games went away, and mobile seems like they're the place for them. So,
Gotcha.
Virgil, and make sure I said that right. Virgil writes in and says, what are some old games you never grew up or have nostalgia for, but you ended up enjoying when they were past their prime? Okay, so what are games you didn't grow up with or don't have nostalgia for, but played and still enjoyed later? So old games you enjoyed, but maybe not as a kid.
I mean, I've been playing a lot more retro stuff lately, so I feel like that's kind of involved. I think like a lot of DS games that I'm buying because they're cheaper and I'm trying to be like, oh, look at me collecting DS games. A lot of those games that I've been purchasing lately are very good, and I miss them because when I had a DS, I just played Pokemon, and that was it. So now that I'm spreading my interests and playing other DS games, I think that definitely works. So, like, all the Professor Laytons that I didn't play, and, some of the other ones that I, like, even some Pokemon games that I didn't get to try, like Pokemon Ranger is pretty fun. And I never got to try that, because I was just like, oh, I just want to play the baseline games. All that spin-off stuff is stupid.
Yeah, like Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap is very good.
It is. Neo Geo. I think I only really played what's the side-scrolling shooter?
Metal Slug.
Thank you. Metal Slug. I played Metal Slug in the arcades, but I never touched anything Neo Geo until I was much, much older. So, I think Neo Turf Masters I may have played in an arcade at one point, but that was still years after its prime. Well, let's be honest, Neo Turf Masters is always in its prime.
Yeah, it is.
But a lot of those Neo Geo games look amazing, play amazing, to the point to where I've always looked into getting a Neo Geo multi-cab, but those are expensive. So, and so are the boards, the big-ass cartridges. Those are really expensive.
Yeah.
But I love the Neo Geo, and I'm actually really glad that the Switch has those Neo Geo ports that they keep. I think does Hamster make those?
Yes.
Yeah, that those ports they're okay in terms of price. Like $7.99 is a little much for a single game, depending on what you're buying, but they routinely go on sale, so they might be $4.99. I might be making that up.
I think you were right the first time,
okay.
But yeah, they go on sale, and they're also pretty good ports.
Yeah, and the Neo Geo, everything to do with it, including that game with dinosaurs that I can't remember.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is a Capcom game.
Oh, right, that was off MAME.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
That was off MAME.
It was a Capcom game.
Yeah.
Still a very good game, though.
Mm-hmm. Also, yeah, there you go. That's another one. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Horror Errors writes in and asks, it's Homestuck Day. I assume that's Friday the 13th?
Yeah, it's 4/13 is Homestuck Day.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Homestuck Day, the day where we are recording this? Is this the 12th or the 13th?
Yes.
It's the 13th.
Yeah, it's the 13th. Yes.
It's Homestuck Day, so, baby, so chooch. What's everyone's experience with Homestuck, and who's your favorite character, and what's everyone's zodiac sign? Well, this one's easy, because I don't have an answer to the first two.
I mean, you have, like, some light experience, because you went to conventions at the time, and you were like, who are these gray people?
Yeah, like, that's my experience. I think Niall mentioned he had a very similar experience, where he went to a convention and was bewildered by every other cosplayer being these horned demons and having no clue. Because I'm used to walking around conventions and seeing cosplay that I don't recognize at all. Just no clue. But it's usually few and far between, or I'll recognize the character they're dressing as. Like, oh, I don't know what they're from, but I know what that is. Homestuck, it was like half of the convention was Homestuck, and I had no clue. And I would see groups of them everywhere, just 100 people. I remember we were leaving the convention center. This is MegaCon in Orlando. We were leaving the convention center, and that's a big convention center. And there's like a balcony on like the second or third floor. And we looked up, and it was like I was cursed because we looked up and there was 100 of them all staring out at me. Just all standing there in unison. And of course it was for a photo. But but when you turn and look, and these groups of demons have all suddenly formed and are now looking at you, it's a little disconcerting. I think we eventually Googled it. And that, hey, guess what? The description of Homestuck does not help a stranger understand what Homestuck is.
No.
Like,
not at all.
I don't even think it used the word webcomic. It just said cartoon, that community driven, and it was just a gobbledygook of words. It wasn't I think it was one big run-on sentence.
Because it's not like other webcomics. It's an experience.
Oh, so you wrote that description?
No.
Not like other webcomics. This one you'll obsess over for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was into it when I was in, like, high school. I read it up until, like, halfway through chapter 5, I want to say. I was pretty into it, but there was a point where I felt like the author just started hating working on it, and it also got so obtuse that it was just just awful read, and I gave up on it.
Is there an overarching story, or is it just keeps going?
There's an overarching story. It's basically like it's kind of a creation myth where it's just about this group of kids who start playing a video game that lets them like interact with their own world, and then they get like sucked into this other universe, and they meet like almost like mirror version, like another group of kids that were playing the game, and they're like these little troll aliens from another universe. And then they start being like, oh, but there's also alternate universes of each of them. And then there's alternate universe versions of the alternate universe versions. And there's different times.
I have my head in my hands.
Yeah, it got way too up its own ass.
I'm rubbing my eyes.
And it was very much like designed for the Tumblr crowd, where it's like, hey, we introduced like another 17 characters. Now start drawing them making out with each other. Like, that was very much what it became, and that was when I dropped it, because, like, I'm fine with it, with people doing what they want to do with their fan stuff, but it became readily apparent that, like, the author stopped caring about it and was just making new characters for people to just be like, oh, whatever, this is my new favorite, I like them because they're like me.
So who is your favorite, and how often did you see them completely nude?
Well, when I was reading it, my favorite was Carcat, because he was the cancer sign one, and he was a little shithead, but he also cared about his friends, and he was kind of fun. A lot of people compared him to me, and that was fine, because I was also a little shithead that cared about my friends and curses way too much, because that's me. That's still me. I have it. Look, there's a lot of awful drawings of Homestuck characters, no matter where you look.
I can't wait to look him up.
You don't have to.
I'm not going to. I'm a Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What Cancer sign are you? What zodiac sign are you?
I'm Cancer. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so it really matched up.
Exactly.
Who was the Leo character?
It was this cat girl named Nepeta, and her thing was that she liked to write fan fiction, and she was also a deadly hunter. She was like all cutesy, but then she was also like maybe one of the strongest at the same time. Like, she would kill like anyone, basically.
So exactly like me.
There you go.
Yeah, I am a cat girl. We got two of these questions, one from Anonymous and one from Shoeless, kind of asking the same thing. It's Friday the 13th. What is the spookiest or unluckiest thing to happen to you?
I mean, there's unlucky stuff that happens all the time where you're just like, oh man.
But
get that apartment.
The most unluckiest thing. I can't actually think of the most unluckiest thing because kind of like, I didn't win the lottery. That was unlucky.
I don't know. Like, I don't really dunk that much into games of chance. I guess one of the unluckiest things that happened to me recently was I was playing fucking Fate Grand Order and it didn't roll Gene Alter, which is the worst thing that's ever happened to a human being.
I can say the luckiest thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay.
Meeting you, John.
Aww.
Yeah, that's a lie. Something luckier has happened.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know if I've told this story on this podcast. When Frasier, the show, was ending, there was a local radio station having a contest. A phone. You took a cellular phone and you called their number, and they would have a trivia question. You would answer it. If you won that particular day, you would get like a coffee, the first season on DVD, and a picture of Niall with his ass out or something. Is that even his name? Is it Niles?
Niles, yeah.
So it's a Nile. Great. But if you answered correctly and were drawn at the end of the week, you got a grand prize, which was a trip to Hawaii. And I won that.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been to Hawaii because I knew a trivia question that was actually more of a West Wing question, but I knew it. That's the luckiest thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah.
Nice.
What's the luckiest thing to ever happen to you?
I mean, I don't... So, I think maybe I've won a couple of things on, like, Twitter, but I feel like they might not have been, like, by luck. It might have just been more like, oh, hey, you talk about this a lot, we're gonna send this to you because that's some advertising. I won a prize pack for the game Dark Void.
Nice.
If you remember that game?
Yes.
Yeah, I won a prize pack for that because I was really excited for it and I was talking about it a lot when I was younger. And then it came out and it was dog shit.
Yep.
So I talked about that game a lot when I was on Twitter because I was like, oh, I'm so excited. Like, I was watching all the trailers. I was like hyping it up. I was tweeting about it all the time. Like, man, I'm so excited. And like the Dark Void Twitter account like DM'd me, was like, send us your address. We're going to send you some stuff. And they sent me like an iron-on t-shirt design.
Yeah.
And, like, a lithograph with like a bunch of signatures and some like plastic and like some squishy grenades, which I don't even remember if grenades were in that game. And then it came out and it was bad, and I stopped talking about it. And the other thing that I won was there was like an art contest on Twitter for No More Heroes 2. And because I talked so much about No More Heroes, I didn't do any art, but I just talked about it so much. They were like, I got a DM from like Grasshopper, and they were just like, hey, we have some extra t-shirts. Do you want a t-shirt? I was like, okay. So they sent me one of Travis Touchdown t-shirts, and I still have it. And it's
nice.
like, I think it's signed by like Suda and some other I couldn't tell you because I can't really read the signatures.
Sure.
But, that's still really cool that I have one of Travis's t-shirts. And I use that for like my Travis Touchdown cosplay when I did that a few times. And I wore it to school, and I absolutely should have gotten in trouble for it because there are some very half-naked girls on it, but I did not for some reason, so I guess that's fine.
Great. Anonymous writes in, has anyone in the crew actually tried Billy Mitchell hot sauce? No.
I have not.
He has a restaurant somewhere here in Florida. I have no clue where it is.
We should figure it out and we should go.
It seems like I
would love to try it.
It seems like a restaurant that would be like outside of Jacksonville. I don't know why I think that, but Anonymous.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay,
keep going, but I'm gonna look it up.
Anonymous writes in and asks, Rampage opened this weekend to a big box office, so that Duke Nukem movie is starting to seem more and more plausible. I guess.
Keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. It could happen, but like we were talking the other day about this. Like Rampage got The Rock in it, kind of has very little to do with the actual arcade game and the games that came out for Rampage. They just bought an IP to base something on. Duke Nukem has like there's no dude in Rampage. The Rock is just a dude. They just took the games and added The Rock. John Cena would be playing Duke Nukem. That in itself is a weight around the cemented shoes of that movie, thrown into a river. So I just don't. It could happen. Yeah, it totally could happen. I just don't know why you would want, other than you're just soulless businessmen sitting in a room going like, video game movies, come on, they're hot. Like, why would you want to make a Duke Nukem movie?
Yeah, I don't know. So I found the restaurant. It's not necessarily his restaurant. Like, he is the proprietor of the hot sauce company.
Uh-huh.
But his family just owns Ricky's Restaurant. It's like a sports bar seafood place.
Oh. Where is it? What city?
I'm going to find that out. Ricky's Restaurant and Lounge.
Yeah, because his family didn't start it; they just bought it.
Yeah, it's in Hollywood. It's in Florida, Hollywood.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
Last question. And again, you can send questions by going to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com if you like the email. If you don't like the email, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. Final question. Anonymous asks, what's the best bagel? What's the best bagel?
I mean, can't go wrong with just putting everything on it, you know?
Everything bagel? All right.
Everything bagels are pretty good.
What are you putting on it? Cream cheese? What's your schmear?
Oh, I love cream cheese. And then, you know, sometimes like a jelly, some grape, or even some apple jam.
With the cream?
My go-to.
With the cream cheese?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with the everything bagel. I would just do cream cheese. Just a thick layer of cream cheese, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Thick it up. Mm-hmm. That's what they say. When you go to Bagels Plus, Einstein's Bagels, you say thick it up. They know exactly what you mean.
All right.
Yep.
That's how you do it. Well, that's really good. Oh man, I love a good bagel.
Toasted or not toasted?
Toasted.
Yeah, toasted's good.
Yeah, because I feel like if it's not toasted, it's a little, like, the consistency of the bagel's a little too chewy.
I like chewy, though. So I'm into chewy.
Like, that's fine, but for me, I like the toasted, like, more firm consistency of the toasted bagel, and then on the inside, you get the more smooth cream cheese and apple jam, or whatever else you put on there.
Uh-huh.
I like that. I like the mix of consistencies.
All right.
Well, that will do it for this week's show. Thank you, Michael, for being on.
Mm-hmm.
If you enjoyed this show, and if you enjoy the rest of the content that is posted on videogamechoochoo.com, why don't you check out our Patreon at patreon.com/VGCC. If you donate any amount of money, we appreciate it. I think the minimum is $1, so feel free to just send us $1 or however much more you want to donate. We appreciate any amount, and we are going to continue to mull over which kind of patron early content that we're going to be putting up on there. I think we're coming to some good ideas soon. I think we'll maybe have something to say about that soon. If you want to keep up with what we're doing, there's always twitter.com/VGChoochoo. It's our Twitter account. Our Tumblr is at videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you can join our Discord server by typing thegamezone.zone into your web browser of your choice. That will bring you to the Discord server. You can join in, chat, have fun. We have voice chat sometimes if you want to hang out and, you know,
yell,
chat it up. Yeah, holler about dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
We do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also like to thank Melt Channel for the use of our theme song Crush off of their album Magic is Real. Check out the rest of their music at meltchannel.bandcamp.com. It's all really good. And we'll see you next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long.
Bagels.
Bagels.